What's going on, guys? I'm Ads from Ads.tv, and today we are joined by Sunderland musician 90 Bro. I'm going to ask him a couple of questions. I'm just going to keep it really chilled out and laid back, just so you guys at home can enjoy this interview. So, would you class yourself as an MC or a rapper, or is there really a difference?
There's a huge difference.
What's that?
There's a huge difference. If you're a rapper, you got bars, like you can write bars, you know what I'm saying? But if you're an MC, you have that crowd controlling ability. You have that, there's a craft to it, it's different. I think there are great rappers and there are great MCs, and then you evolve into a whole other conversation when it comes to rap artists. In terms of the making of the music. Now I know some great local rappers, but can't really make music. So and vice versa. There's rappers who are amazing at making music, but then if you tell them spit a 16, spit your freestyle, do your bars.
So that's the thing though, isn't it? I mean, you're saying that there's people who can sort of do that. What do you think it is that makes a great MC, especially from Sunderland, in an area like this where we're from?
Well, the great thing about this, which is a plus or a minus, is that there's not many that really do this.
Yeah, of course.
But I see that as a huge opportunity, and I see a lot of talented rappers. There's so much talent here. Like I had no. You asked me 3 years ago, I couldn't tell you. Now I'm seeing there's so much talent coming. I'm not going to name drop loads of names.
Yeah, of course.
It's crazy.
But it's a different scene than what it was years ago. So what was it for you then, 90, that actually inspired you to do what you do in terms of music? Obviously, you have told me earlier that you did have a degree.
Yes.
You know, you got yourself a degree, you went to university, you did all that good stuff, and I believe you're doing your masters now.
I am, yeah.
So what is it for you that sort of, I understand music's a hobby, first and foremost, but what is it for you that makes you go down that route? I'm going to pursue the music career, other than let's go down the educational route go that way.
It's not a hobby, like, okay, it starts off as a hobby, but I think that's what people who really want to do this use as an excuse, but I think it's a calling. I do think it is, because it's like, it's a vibration, it's a vibe, it's a feeling, it's something you want to express, and I know it's like, there's things that I can only express through music. It's the only way. It's like, it's a creative outlet, it's pure expression. You know what I'm saying?
Of course. So, with other people surrounding you who aren't doing music, how do you sort of persevere in terms of your music when you know that there's other guys around you that aren't particularly doing that, you know, music that you are doing? I know that you are surrounded by NNE and the group, the collective that you are part of. I know that they're obviously pushing their music, but how do people who aren't doing music around you affect what you do?
They don't.
They don't affect you at all. It's just
simply
class.
Like, honestly, it's like, it's not.
Because like what I'm trying to get at is, surely that if people around you don't do music, surely there's going to be a lot of naysayers or people who tell you you can't do it. Now, that's what I want to get at. How do you overcome that? Obviously, with Ads.tv in general, I mean, me personally, I get a lot of people saying, well, especially when I first started, was, why are you continuing this video journey? What is it for you that makes you continue?
Whatever naysayers, whatever you say, right, everyone listens to music. Fucking on the radio, to work, whatever, when they want to vibe, when they want to chill, when they want to party, everyone listens to music. So that's just a challenge for me. When I turned someone's head, it was like, oh, I didn't, you know what I mean? And then they're like, actually, that was pretty good. I enjoy that challenge. It's not that I do it for them.
Yeah.
I do it for the love of making music, but when I do turn heads, it's like, no.
So do you think there ever comes a time when you think, yeah, I'm doing it for the love of making music, is what I did when I started the channel, for instance?
Yeah.
Did you think there ever comes a time when you think, I can't do it for the love anymore, I'm going to enjoy it, but I want to start making cash? Because that's what it, you know, is that what it's all about for you? You know, I'm sure at some point you can't just concentrate on making music if there's no financial gain from it. I don't know, that's what I want to find out with you.
I mean, you've got to, I'd say this, it starts with the love. You've got to love, like, if anyone is trying to do this just to be opportunistic and think they can make money out of it, this is not the business to be in.
Exactly.
No chance.
Yeah.
You got to love this, you've got to love this. And then you get to a point where you've got to get what you're worth as an artist. It's like, whatever trade or craft you have, that goes for anything. Like, you know, if you're like a plumber, a doctor, pharmacist, whatever. If you have a trade, if you've got a craft, if you've got a passion, you've got to get what you're worth.
But what is interesting for me about what do you mean by get what you're worth? Now, if you're doing something for the love of doing it,
there's conventional career paths, right?
Yeah, of course.
And the structure's there. You got to do X amount, you get promoted or whatever.
Yeah.
Then there's these creative career paths. Now with that, you've really got to get your stuff sorted. You got to be sussed. You got to be entrepreneurial. You got to be creative in terms of how you get what you're worth, really. I mean, essentially, you're doing a job. If you're doing a gig, you're doing a good job.
Yeah, of course.
You know what I mean?
Of course.
Whatever your trade is, whatever your love is, whatever your passion is, you can get entrepreneurial about it. You can make money out of it. I do think it's like anything that really matters. It's deferred gratification.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I agree with you.
It's not going to come.
Yeah, definitely.
Even if you're doing a professional thing, you do your degree, then you do your internship, then you do X amount of jobs, then you get to the profession that you want, the stage you want.
So you feel like this is just stepping stones to get where you need to be.
Absolutely.
Do it for the love, and if you get anything from it,
I think the difference is with the creative fields, it's not quantified. There's no tangible. I need to do this many years, or this. You never know.
100%.
But it's that not knowing that's so exciting.
And that's what drives you to keep going.
Of course.
See
it's
that? I'm very similar to that as well.
It's not. No one's ever done like.
But this is what I want the guys who are watching this video to understand now. We all know that nobody ever has really made it from Sunderland as a rap artist.
Okay. Yeah.
What is it about you, 90 personally, that makes you believe that you can do it?
I'm going to throw that question back at you. How do you define making it?
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? That's what I love. That's a very important point because for me, I don't believe making it is necessarily. Let's rephrase. I don't necessarily mean success is the destination per se. It's more of the journey to get there because you might never make it. But if the journey was great and you met all these great people and inspired somebody, that's success for me. Now, for you personally, how do you feel about that?
I'm making it right now. Like
so
is it like I'm literally making music? I'm playing with genres of music. I'm just really mixing it up. And that's what I love. That's making it to me. Like, I've had gigs, I've had whatever. I've been on BBC Radio talking about immigration.
Yeah.
Because they picked out a bar on one of my tracks, and then they did a whole segment on it, which is pretty cool.
So it's more down the inspirational route for you as well.
I mean, but when that happened, that took me aback completely.
Yeah, of course.
I wasn't ready for it, to be honest.
Yeah.
But the thing is, that's not why I did it. Those are all just byproducts. It's like I said, deferred gratification. When I wrote that bar, I never even thought about any of that.
So, you know what? Another thing I really want to talk to you about, 90, while I've got you on the show. The scene in general about the North East. Now, we're not here to mention any names or anything like that because we understand we're trying to create a movement, we're trying to create something in the North East, which is absolutely, it's great for what we're doing. Now, what do you think the attitude is like on the whole for the North East music scene?
Well, I'd say the attitude in the Northeast in general is depressing. And there's a lot of reasons for that. And you can go political. Yeah. You know what I mean? I mean, you look at London, right? You look at London in 2010, and you look at London now. Yeah. And you look at the skyline of the city, and you look at the development of the city. London's one of the best cities in the world. But look at the north of the country. Yeah, exactly. And what's happening. It's ridiculous. So, but what I found is, and this is something I've studied rigorously, is like any time any society is suffering, the boldest art comes out of it. So what I'm interested in as well, mate, is I know that when I was going up and down the country filming artists and stuff to provide a credible platform, now a lot of people said at the time that Ad's selling out because they're going to Manchester and London for artists, and I'm thinking, and they're saying like, how can you not film more of your own city? Now for me, I feel like, how comes when I go to Manchester, for instance, when I go to Manchester, there's guys who want to be on the channel, they're hitting us up straight away. Now in Sunderland and Newcastle, I feel like sometimes that artists are very, I'm going to do it later. I'm not saying that's necessarily a bad thing. But how come when you go to other cities, it's like they're all sharing each other, or like, the American artist, for instance. If he's famous, he brings his whole fucking team through. Right. Here, it's nothing like that. It's like, I'm in my lane,
you need to bugger off. That's what I feel like the Northeast like, and it is. That's a fact, mate. If you look at a lot of the people who are musically doing something in the Northeast, it's very, very rare that they will try to bring everyone with them. Now that's what's going on, and I'm sure you can understand. Other than the group that you're part of, do you feel like it's easy to collab with anybody who you want?
For me,
yeah. And what's the reason for that?
I don't give a fuck. That's the reason.
So
like, it's about
that's
music.
what I'm saying. So,
I don't give a shit if you've done 20 tracks or if you've done one track. If we connect on a concept,
exactly,
we're gonna make that fucking amazing music.
That's what I'm saying. So
essentially, I don't have an ego about any of this. Like,
so you would literally jump on someone who's just started music yesterday, and you'd work with that guy.
But basically, the way I see it is, I'm a day one artist on this beat.
So do you feel like, what I'm trying to get at, 90, do you feel like everybody's like that? Or is it just you? Do you feel like...
Everyone's different.
Yeah, but
everyone's
I think
in it for different reasons.
That's very true.
Everyone's in it for the same reason I am. I'm here to make music. I don't give a shit about any politics.
I think that's very true, but I think for you to make music on the level that you want to make music on, I'm not saying any level is any worse than others,
right?
Because like you say, it's all for their own personal, reasons. But I feel like to sort of grow as a region or as an artist, people need to come together to make it work.
Yeah.
There's a lot of guys who I think are second to none in promotion in the Northeast. And again, I'm not going to go into names, but Snapchat game is heavy, Insta, the Twitter, all that. I think you know what I'm talking about. But that's what I'm saying. It's like these guys.
That's only going to get you so far, though.
But that's what I'm saying.
No matter what.
But there's a lot of guys out there who won't even go that far.
That's true. That's true.
I know you were saying that it'll only take you so far having a hot social media game, if you like. I understand that, but do you not think that that's very important? I think it's imperative now in this day and age. If your social media game isn't on point, then you're not getting where you want to be.
It helps in terms of opportunities, but it won't make your music any better.
Definitely not. I agree with that.
Like, it will open your eyes. You might be able to collab with different artists, producers, get your videos done and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, it's still you and the music. You still got to do
100%, but if you want guys to buy into you, I think now people have to be more marketable as a person.
This goes back to what we were saying about
exactly.
knowing your worth. I mean, you've got to, that's true.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I look at people now and I think you've got to become almost an investment, which is a pretty sad thing as well, because you can be the most talented person in the world and you could be in an area of wherever, let's just say Sunderland, for instance, you're not going to get hurt unless you can do things on social media. People, A&R aren't interested in coming to Sunderland.
I mean, to be honest,
it happens, but
I've got interviews, gigs, and all sorts of things from putting tracks out online. Yeah. From I'm of this generation of musicians where
that's what I'm saying. Online, so you're putting things online.
It is an important,
It's having that drive to do something and not caring about. As weird as it sounds, you need to kind of not care about what people think and do it anyway, but you kind of need them guys to like you for your shit to work. Do you know what I mean? I understand you're going to say, well, do you really though, if you're going to do your own thing? For financial gain, definitely. If you're looking into making something career-wise with music. If you want to do it as a hobby, doesn't matter. Do you know what I mean? You can do what you want.
I have more faith in the process, even the industry, because I think people buy into real shit. Like, people say, oh, it's all commercial, whatever, right? Those artists don't last 6 months.
Yeah, of course.
Even if they do get a hit, they won't be here in 6 months or 2 years' time. The real artists are the ones who do keep going. So I have faith in the industry in that respect as well. So, again, it comes down to what you're in this for. You know what I mean?
So let's end on that note then, 90. So what are you personally in this for? Other than a couple of things that you've mentioned, what else are you in this for? Do you see the longevity of you being in the game for financial gain? Or do you think the longevity of you will come from you just enjoying the hobby?
Well, I've said this to people before. I'm going to be gone. Like, whatever I make out of it, whatever. The music's going to be there after me. Yeah. They've been there before me, it's going to be after me. I'm about making amazing music. And there's a movement, there's something going on here. There's talent here that needs to be tapped into, not opportunistically, but artistically.